Okay, so you say the finance. If you're in finance, you should worry about this. If you're in the space of sort of what do you call it, development or anything of that nature, you should think about this. If you like math, so math by math, I'm assuming anybody who is involved in the world of algorithms and all that stuff that you've seen
Numbers.
in sci-fi movies. Then that legal is interesting, and I'll be quite curious to hear a little bit more about that, right?
Okay.
So you started off by saying anybody who is interested in money-related stuff, which I think is everybody. I mean, we are.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's why I started with that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of us care about money. So then everybody should know about blockchain, no?
Yeah. Actually, everyone should. Actually, yeah.
Interesting.
So let me just dive into it.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I'll just start with what you have currently. I'm sure everyone has felt a pinch or has felt the weight of Corona and COVID-19 on our economy and basically our lifestyle.
Yeah.
We can actually say that we have actually tremendously suffered globally and individually on how much Corona has taken away from us, because Corona, nobody actually had a plan. Nobody knew that Corona could have actually, destroyed our lives this way. And right now, it's like we are at the mercy of technology, so that you can bring things back to order and you can bring things back to shape. So I'll basically just touch on two major things that I'm very sure that will get you interested on why you need to learn blockchain.
Okay.
So the first thing I'll start with is automation of payments. So number one, let me use just an example. Right now, when you go to a supermarket and buy Coca-Cola, and then you go and you check it out at the till, you'll be given a VAT receipt showing that you've bought this soda for maybe 55 shillings. This amount is for tax, and so forth, and then that's the end. But at the back, the person who has supplied supermarket with the Coca-Cola has not been paid. That tax that you've been cut has not been paid to KRA, and any other payment that brought that Coca-Cola to the supermarket for you to purchase. So now with blockchain technology, we can actually do that payment instantaneous. So the moment you go to the supermarket and buy that Coca-Cola for 55 shillings, Coca-Cola will get their cut from that. KRA will get their VAT from that. If there are any other payments, let's say the person who brought in logistics, everyone will get their payments instantaneous. And I believe that in itself will increase cash flows that we don't have as we speak right now at the moment. So you'll find that if that system is implemented, we'll actually be having a lot of cash flows flowing, because you're actually delivering and you're being paid once it is being consumed.
Would the same apply, like say to foodstuff? So let's say I am a guy who's supplied mushrooms to Tuskys and they are on the shelf.
Yeah, actually
pays for that one, one pallet of mushrooms. I get my money.
Yeah, you get your money instant, and you even get a receipt on your email or on your mobile phone. So you can imagine how
the 90-day credit cycles and stuff like that. You're saying that then
that is ending. Actually, that is ending. There'll be no more that thing of credit and everything, because once this is implemented, cash will be actually as it is. You'll be in it. We usually say in Kenya, pesa pap. It will be like more of a cash economy over time, but it's actually the blockchain technology that is enabling us to do that. So that feature, I'll just mention the word, it's called a smart contract feature. So that's the feature that blockchain technology has brought to us. That feature of, it's like a smart contract that it knows that this Coca-Cola belongs to Coca-Cola, it has gone through these stages, and I need to pay these people. So the contract executes itself without any intervention or, middleman. So that's number one. And I think for that in itself can open a lot of.
Imagine the potential for trade and for cash flows for small businesses, for instance, and things like that, right?
So it can be, it can actually improve the economy, and guys will have a lot of money to spend. Because when you spend that money, somebody else receives it and spends it again. So there's no that lag time. Yeah,
like that, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a chain form going on. Yeah. So yeah. So the other part that I even like is actually liquidation of assets. As you can see right now, if you want to sell your car, you'll have to go through a lot of procedures. You need to do valuation. You need to get a willing buyer. You need to check if he'll agree to that rate. There's so many in-betweens required if you want to convert an asset. And the worst of all cases, land. You can imagine trying to sell land right now in Kenya. First of all, you have to verify that it's legit, it exists. That's actually the biggest problem, number one, that it exists. Number two, we have to ensure that the person who is selling the land owns it. So you can actually see all these processes when it comes to liquidating assets. It's kind of tedious.
Yeah.
So now with blockchain technology, we can be able to digitize an asset, put it in one ledger where everyone knows that this asset belongs to so and so, and then you can actually be opened to the global market. Because as you can see, once it's set up, anyone can actually see your land and anyone can purchase as long as you want to sell it. So over time, you can see people will be putting in their laptops, their mobile phones, their cars, and over time you'll find that there will be a big market for barter trade for these assets. So you'll be finding, like, for example, you want to go to school, but maybe funds are kind of tight on your end. So you can actually digitize some assets, and then you can use that to pay for your school fees instead of actually getting cash and paying directly. So that's the part of saying, like, a barter trade of of assets being done. But that's
what you're saying, yeah, because it's not so much about the asset anymore. It's about ownership,
the value. Ownership.
Value on the ownership, right? So if I have land, if I have a car, because today if I'm selling my car, then there's an exchange of logbooks and all that kind of stuff, right? If I'm understanding what you're saying correctly, is that if you and I are exchanging, I was buying a car from you, you were buying a car from me, you would just become the owner of my car like this.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, we just enter the blockchain system, we click transfer, I put in your account, you put in my account, and then the exchange happens.
And money. Alafu tutapatana mahali nikuachie gari, then we move on with life.
Yeah. As in, so because it's one public record, just one public record for all this data. So that record is in itself is trustable because everyone knows that this record is actually the one true record. So there is no need for verification and all that. So that verification step that usually takes time when it comes to converting assets will be removed by blockchain technology. So these are the two main, actually, I call them transformative changes that blockchain shall bring into economy once it is fully implemented.
Wow. Okay. So hold on. So anybody who cares about law, and law, everybody cares about law, whether it's in human rights or exchanging a contract or the legal status of an organization. I mean, everybody who cares about law and everybody who cares about money should care about blockchain. That's where we started this conversation by
Yes.
Then you've said that the reason that it should be a point of interest for anybody today is, one, you've got the automation of payments, which could completely transform trade and how we do trade, right? Everything from credit cycles to cash flow management, all that could potentially be highly impacted by blockchain. Then you've talked about assets, which is a big issue because today, whether you're trying to get a loan or you're trying to look at even with Corona happening right now, you have a lot of people who maybe have had cash flow issues. So you might have had to liquidate an asset somewhere to sell like a kashamba or like a machinery somewhere. And of course, there's a challenge because you don't know where to sell because nobody's looking to buy things right now. We're all trying to protect our money. So potentially, let's say blockchain existed today, I could have had a much bigger marketplace for my assets, and it would have been much easier to liquidate them because I could have just posted it on some OLX of blockchain,
Yeah, actually, it will be so interesting. Imagine, let's say if all this had happened while you had implemented blockchain. Number one, you will not have issues of cash flow. Yeah, that's straight out number one. So actually, there's a likely chance most of our jobs might have, maybe we could have some salvaged a bit of some of the jobs because the cash flows will be there. Number two, you'll find that since you are connected to the one public record for all the assets, you'll find maybe in another country they have maybe measures of maintaining the COVID situation and they're liquid. Because you see, in economy, it's actually demand and supply. If you can actually get it right, then you have a business.
Yeah.
So now with that, imagine now you have opened it to almost 1 billion people. People can actually check. So when you're trying to buy and sell to 1 billion people compared to trying to sell to maybe a few individuals, you know, right now it could have been easy. If maybe you had some piece of land, you're stuck, you post it on the ledger, you put the price, after some minutes, you get some bids. And immediately the guy agrees, you exchange, money is deposited in your account immediately, and you get your cash. And you.
It's kind of like how the stock exchange works, right? Because it's if I have shares, I want to offload it, I just go onto my.
It's like a stock exchange now, but of now
system,
digital. Right? Of digital assets now.
Is a stock exchange built on blockchain, or is it a blockchain-like platform?
Well, no. The stock exchange basically, we can put it like the simplest way. It's like houses. Like this house has bought maybe a couple of security, and this other house has bought another couple of securities. And in that house now, they're individuals. So now me, I'm the one who owns 50 shares. Another guy owns 70 shares and all that. So if you want to trade, it's basically like asking the house, hi, I'm selling 50 shares, and the house tells the guys who are inside the house. Anyone who owns 50 shares, they bid, and the exchange happens.
So we have a world like that in a sense.
Exactly now. But now instead of many houses, we'll just have one big house, just one, where everyone has their digital asset, and if they want to trade, they just shout, hey, niko na nyumba hapa ya milioni 3, mtu huko mwingine anasema, mimi ndachukua na 2 million, mimi ndachukua na 7, yeah. So you can see that option you don't have right now. If you want to sell your house or car, you'll sweat. You'll pay advertising cost first of all. You have to put posters everywhere in the street. You have to pay city council. As in, it is just hell.